Hello, today we are going to present to you about primary and secondary memory technology. Let's move on to our group members. We have 5 group members, starting with Aina Shazrik binti Shafari, Chin Join, Nur Darwisha binti Muhammad Zaharuddin, Nur Atikah Maisara binti Rahimi, and myself, Yasmin Halimah binti Rekman. Let's start with our first presenter.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Aina Shazri binti Shafari. My matrix number 076782. I'm going to talk about what is primary and secondary memory. Primary memory is the internal memory of a computer system. It stores and retrieves data, instruction, and information. The CPU directly and randomly access primary memory. So primary memory is also known as random access memory or RAM. It is a volatile memory and can lose data and instruction when the power is shut down or off. What is secondary memory? Secondary memory is a storage device that the CPU cannot access directly. It is a permanent storage device. So here we got the CPU access this device through an input-output channel. The data first transferred to primary from secondary storage before its accessment. So modern computer nowadays often use hard drive and optical storage device such as CDs, DVDs as our secondary storage device. Next, a secondary storage device organizes data into a files and directories based on a file system. It also allows the user to access or use additional information like access permission, owner, and last access time. Also, secondary memories keep less use data temporarily when primary memory gets full. So next, secondary memory devices are less expensive and can store vast amount of data, audio, video, and multimedia files. Organization can store the equivalent of a room full of data on disk that consume dramatically and significantly less physical space. That is all from me. I'm gonna pass to the next presenter. Thank you.
My name is Chinjo N and my matrix number is 077319. Today I would like to discuss about the primary memory characteristic and secondary memory characteristic. Primary memory is important as computer cannot function without primary memory. If a computer doesn't have primary memory, there will be no place to store the instruction and data required for the CPU to operate. Primary memory is also known as main memory. Why is known as main memory? Because it's accessed directly by the CPU. It's the part of the computer that stores current data, programs, and instructions. Primary memory, also known as volatile memory. Volatile memory means that when the computer is shut down or power off, all the data in the random access memory, which is RAM, will be erased. That means you may lose all the data in case of the power of computer is off. Primary memory is the working memory of computer as it holds information temporarily. It's faster as compared to the secondary memory because it direct access to the CPU. The example of primary memory are RAM, ROM, cache, PROM, and so on. Whereas for secondary memory are magnetic and optical memories. It's a type of non-volatile memory. Non-volatile means that the data is stored permanently even the power of computer is switched off. It helps to store data on the computer. The computer can function without secondary memory because secondary memory, also known as backup memory, but the computer will lack the ability to store and access essential system file, software program, and user data. It will limit the computer functionality to basic operational when computer run without secondary memory. Secondary memory works slower than primary memory because the CPU cannot access secondary memory directly. The data or information from the secondary memory will first to transfer to the main memory, which is primary memory, then the CPU can access it. The example of secondary memory are magnetic tapes, optical disks, floppy disks, and so on. That's all for me. I will pass to the next presenter. Thank
My
you.
name is Darwisha. My matrix number is 076810 and I'm going to present about the types of primary and secondary memory. First is primary memory. Primary memory consists of RAM and ROM. RAM is a random access memory. CPU can access any memory cell directly without accessing it sequentially. It is a volatile memory, which means when you power off your computer, the data stored in RAM is erased, and it is also called temporary memory. There are two types of RAM. First is SRAM, static RAM, And second one is DRAM, dynamic RAM. Next is ROM. ROM is a read-only memory. It is a non-volatile memory and permanent memory, which means stored data doesn't change and remains same always because this is read-only data and can write on this memory. There are many types of ROM. First is MROM, escape ROM, PROM, programmable ROM, EEPROM, erasable and programmable ROM, and the last one is EEPROM, electrically erasable and programmable ROM. Next is secondary memory. Secondary memory have three types. First is solid state storage device, which base SSD and flash drives, which doesn't have any moving parts like hard drives. Second one is optical storage device, which base CDs and DVDs, which use a beam of light to read or write data. And the last one is magnetic storage device. It is based on hard disk and floppy disk, which have magnetic rotating disk. Okay, that's all from me. I'm going to pass the slide to the next presenter. Thank you.
My name is Nur Atika Maisara binti Rohaimi. My matric number is 076642. Now I'm going to present about the comparison between primary and secondary memories. Based on the table, we can compare primary memory and secondary memory based on storage validity, access, volatility, storage, division, speed, and stored data. For the comparison, the first point is primary memory is the computer's main memory and stores data temporarily. Secondary memory is external memory and it is also referred as auxiliary memory and save data permanently. It is because of primary memory holds the data that has to be executed currently, meanwhile secondary memory holds the data that has to be stored for a long time. Data stored in primary memory can be directly accessed by the CPU, which cannot be accessed in secondary memory. Primary memory is lost during a power outage, while secondary memory saves the data. Secondary memory is non-volatile, while primary memory is volatile. Primary memory is stored on semiconductor chips and made up of semiconductor material, while secondary memory is stored on external device and made up of magnetic or optical material. Primary memory is classified into cache and random access memory, while secondary memory has no such categories. Secondary memory can save data in various formats that can be accessed anytime, while primary memory uses the computer's current data. Accessing data from primary memory is quite faster, meanwhile accessing data from secondary memory is comparatively slower. Primary memory is accessed through data bus and secondary memory is accessed through I/O channels. That's all from me. Now I'm gonna pass to the next presenter.
With all being said, now we have come to our conclusion. We can conclude that both types of memory have their own differences. Although they may be different, they work together and complement each other in order for the computer to run smoothly and efficiently. Primary memory itself cannot save more than a few gigabytes of data. In order to fill that gaps, secondary memory can provide up to a terabyte of space. I hope at the end of this presentation, you will learn the differences between primary memory and secondary memory. Thank you so much and Assalamualaikum.